Hello. Hey, look, I know you know, but just in case you don't know, I appreciate you more than ever because you're here watching me. So thank you a ton because I know you have options. Thank you. Now, this is for those who want and who can do more. You have options in the description below. May I suggest that you join our membership program, but you know what? Check out the perks. If you cannot find the one that fits you best, you can simply donate to the channel's Buy Me Your Coffee page. And that's that. But regardless of how you spin it, just understand that you watching from start to finish, liking, commenting, interacting with me in the community helps the algorithm a lot as well. So do not minimize that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, not to spend too much time on this because I'll only spend 10 seconds on this segment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Every time I pinch myself and I go, oh my God, I can't believe people sign up. Thanks. The Bryan Kohberger situation is going to move very slow because of the effective gag order that's in place right now, especially after it was defied by the authorities previously with the leaked information. I don't think the courts really enjoy that, especially the prosecution. So do not expect anything major or groundbreaking until June. Now, what we're going to go through today, it's going to be a few in-betweens. Just follow along the operating flow, and I'm going to try to make sense of today's topic. I'm also going to tackle a little bit about Ashley because there's something that, quite frankly, is no longer funny. It's a little bit disturbing. Okay, let's go. For those who are new here, I am Alistair Nzekio, and as always, this is my point of view. This is just an opinion based on what the hell's going on. Don't judge too hard.
Doctor, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Great to be here.
Surprised, not surprised, that this is not the first time we've seen this, right? We've seen it with Ted Bundy. We've seen it with Charles Manson. What is the obsession with these kinds of defendants? I mean, is it the danger of it? Is it the fame of it? Why do people get attached?
Well, they are famous, infamous, and I think there's a confusion there. And there's something about a dangerous man that can be appealing to some women. And there's a seductiveness there with many of these men in prison, so they can be very charming. The advantage of pursuing somebody who is behind bars is you don't have to deal with them in real life. So they can't frustrate you. There are bars that separate you from them. So they won't leave socks on the ground, dirty dishes in the sink. They're more of a fantasy in reality.
Well, here's more of what she has to say about him. So she goes, if anyone ever says that I can't be sexually attracted to my love interest, Bryan, as well as genuinely care about his well-being at the same time, I know for a fact that they're wrong since I feel both of those things for him. And although I'm sexually attracted to him, I also wish I had a significant mutual bond that isn't just based on sex. By the way, this is someone who's never met him, and the only reason she even knows who he is because of the horrific crimes that he's accused of. So the reason I ask you that is because it seems to me, you mentioned fame. If she's also not just writing him, she's posting on Facebook, right? She doesn't have to do that. If she really loves him, she just send him the notes. Doesn't it seem she's trying to get something out of this?
Well, they've done studies, and millennials, what they want most is fame. So she could be seeking fame for herself. But when I saw this, I also thought of a love addict, right? And love addicts often have fantasy relationships with somebody who's not really available to them. They project all of their wishes onto this man, and it doesn't need to happen in reality.
I can't believe there are people who would willingly fall asleep next to a known alleged murderer, like sound asleep, dreaming of lollipops and bunnies. I can't believe that. Anyway, no, guys, it's called Hibristophilia, or Bonnie and Clyde syndrome, and these are people who are sexually attracted to high level of criminalities. Not your regular thief down the street, not your teenager who jumped the subway turnstile. No, they're looking for a murderer, a real G, as they call it in the streets. But listen, that's not the point why I put this video. I want to show you a contrast. Now, let's listen to this.
And then a whole bunch of other people who are more like ticking time bombs and would like to see him blown up. Because as it turns out, there are multiple letters coming in to the Moscow jail, and they are threatening the life of Bryan Kohberger. And they are not treated like the love letters, slightly different. For that, I turn to the guy I know who knows everything about prisons and jails, and that's Larry Levine. He's the director and the founder of Wall Street Prison Consultants. And also with me tonight, Dr. Michael Aaron. He is a psychotherapist and a certified sex therapist specializing in fetishes. I think he might be able to get me off the ledge on this one. First to you, Larry Levine. When a threatening letter comes in, ultimately saying that they want to see this guy dismembered or whatever it is they're threatening, what's the protocol? Does he get to see these letters?
No, they're not going to do that. And they're going to refer it over to the postal inspector. And they'll launch an investigation and try to track the letters back. But, you know, this is nothing new. Look at Jodi Arias, the Menden brothers, Scott Peterson, Charles Manson. They all received letters. I mean, Charles Manson married somebody that was writing letters to them. It's these women that... I spoke to Jacqueline Pavillari, my colleague, who's a psychologist, and she said that...
Okay, we already know women with low self-esteem, etc., well, people with low self-esteem, because it can go both ways. Anyway, I didn't know that Marilyn Manson married a pen pal, as they call it. Anyway, this segment point is, I personally think that why is he allowed to see the pen pal letters, but they are doing this protocol in regards to in regard to protecting him from receiving threatening letters? I think is highly inappropriate. This is my belief. I think it's highly inappropriate for any criminals to receive any letters, whether positive or negative, while we are waiting to judge his criminality. I think it is highly inappropriate. I don't think they should be doing this. The positive ones go and the negative ones don't go. No, if you're gonna be so selective, let him see all of it. Because at the end of the day, guys, tax dollars are paying for this mess. Tax dollars are paying for this mess. And I think if you are going to do a crime, I know we're innocent until proven guilty. So he's not found guilty, so he is innocent right now. But I think your privileges should be completely limited. Communication with your family, fine. Maybe some friends, fine. But you don't have the privilege to act like you are in public. Do you understand what I'm trying to say a little bit? So I brought this up to educate anybody because I needed to be educated on the term Hibristophilia. I didn't know what that was. One of you guys mentioned that. I think it was you, Divergent. Please comment and let me know where it was so I can thank you properly. So I didn't know what that was. And the second thing is, I think it's highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. Okay. So Bryan Kohberger's lawyer is getting paid $200 an hour. It has created a mini little uproar, not just in the video that I'm about to show you, but I've seen the recurring theme in a lot of situations involving this particular lawyer. And I have an opinion about that, but let's look at the video and then I'll tell you what I think.
Jennifer Koffendorfer, a friend of mine, former FBI agent who's been following this case very, very closely. All right, Jennifer, let's start with this new development today of what the public defender is getting paid. I saw you just tweeted about it. What do you make of it?
I was very surprised, and let me tell you why. She's a government county employee. I can tell you that the law enforcement officers that were investigating that case, those 60 FBI agents, the state detectives, their salaries did not get doubled because they were working a quadruple homicide. I've been trying to research. It's been a short period of time that I've known about this. I've never known of something like this to happen with a public defender, to have their salary increased. Her previous salary was noted as $119,000 to $172,000, probably dependent on overtime figured into that. And now she could be making about $384,000, and that is without overtime. And her co-counsel making $180 an hour for 40 hours. So this is big, Brian. It's a lot of money, and I don't understand how they can do it.
Yeah, you make a good point. I hadn't thought about that. The detectives don't get paid more money or anything like that. But I will say we have to remember this is a death penalty case. It takes a lot of expertise. It's a difficult case. I called a few friends of mine who were in the field before this, right when we found out. They weren't terribly surprised. They said they would have thought the number may have been closer to $100 an hour. But certainly when you add it all up and $384,000 a year, I think that came as a surprise to a lot of us. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so you heard it. The lawyer is requesting top dollars. I think she absolutely should. Let me tell you something. This is classic supply and demand. I want to be very clear with you about something. And it's the same situation with Darrell Brooks and Chandler Halderson. Their appeal lawyer, their appellate lawyer is the same. And it has to do with, from what I understood from you guys who live in Wisconsin, is that Wisconsin have lost a lot of appellate lawyers, especially during the pandemic or whatnot. They don't have enough supply for the demand of appellateness, if that's a word. So, as you mentioned, it's a death penalty case, probably, and therefore they're in short supply. And so she has the right. She has the wiggle room to demand more. And the law enforcement, their salary not being quadruple, because there's a lot more of them. Simple. It's a simple. Oops. Sorry. Simple supply and demand, right? But, which brings me to my specific point. This is a lot of money that taxpayers are going to have to pay. $384,000 plus the $100 and change something $1,000. We don't know how long this case is going to be. We don't know. It's probably going to take a couple of years, right? This is at least $500K. That's not even counting the overtime. So you can count overtime on that, and there's going to be plenty of overtime. There's going to be at least $700K to maybe $1 million a year that Bryan Kohberger is going to cost the taxpayers of that community. Listen, America is a very rich country. No doubt about that. But listen, that's not an excuse to be completely reckless. And this is what I say. Every criminal out there have the luxury under the protection of the law who protects everybody to abuse us even more. I'm not saying he's guilty because he's innocent to proven guilty. But just think about that, because this privilege is also applied to you, to me, to anybody who is an American. Do you understand? But process this a little bit. That amount of money is coming out of my pocket. Yes, I don't even live in the state, honey. My money is in there. Yes, you talk to your accountant, he'll tell you how. But me, you, your 18-year-old daughter who has a job, we're all subsidizing this mess. If I was the lawyer, I'd 100% would do exactly what she did. If I was able to defend a potentially guilty, allegedly person, I don't have it in me. I don't think I have the guts to be a defense lawyer. I think I most likely be a prosecutor if I was a lawyer. I have my morals are a little too high up there to cozy up with someone who seems to be alleged killer of this situation. I wouldn't be able to, but she can. And so, yes, if I was in her position, I would demand as much dollar as I can. Absolutely. Because nobody works for free. Nobody works for free. That's the law of the land, darling. Slavery is dead. Nobody works for free. Yeah, I would do that. As much as it bothers me, because it's still my tax dollars, if I was her, I would do the same. Which is why I think it's important that you pay attention who you give your vote for. Oh yes, it's very important, because situations like this matter. You know what I mean? It's so infuriating, though. Living the high life on our dime. What? Think about that. I'm sorry, I'm going to spend a little longer on that. $384,000. Do you have that kind of money to pay to a lawyer? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Next segment. Okay. Ashley Gillard is a slight update, and she's still talking. Now, this is getting a little bit no longer on the realm of funny, but I'm still going to laugh. When I watch this, I'm still going to giggle. But in all seriousness, it's no longer funny. And let me tell you why I don't find it funny. Then I'll play a few clips. The reason why is because now the lawsuit has progressed and is moving forward. There's a lot of talk behind the scenes. Please, if you've been sued before, you know how it works. There's a lot of talks going on behind the scenes. And there's a lot of talks happening with your legal team and yourself. Okay? And the fact that she's still talking like that after being served, she's defying her. I know for a fact, allegedly, she's she's defying orders from her lawyer, who probably was like, okay, why don't you lay low, stop talking smack, pick somebody else to pick on, or at the very least put the word allege. She's not putting it anywhere. That's because she's hell-bent on hurting the community, the police station, and the family. Listen to me, because it's just a word. You can still get your point across, just add the word. It's just one word. Is one word that hard to say? To Ashley, it is. And that, my friends, is a problem. Did you get that? Did you? Oh, crap. I hope you got it. But I was just scratching. All right. Let's go. Let's press play.
Also, and I'll say this before I go. Just because someone is the one or one of the parties who carry out the crime does not mean that there was not anybody else involved. Rebecca Schofield wanted to silence Kaylee. And the reason why she wanted to silence Kaylee is because Kaylee was going to tell Rebecca Schofield's husband everything. And they can get Kaylee's citation record to verify this information, but there was a time that Kaylee showed up to Rebecca's house, unannounced, scared the crap out of Rebecca. They argued. Then they chased each other to wherever John works. If he works at the university, that's where they were going. Rebecca got there first because Kaylee had to use some type of directions to get there and therefore made some mistakes. So Rebecca got there first. To stop Kaylee from coming in, there was a police there who stopped Kaylee, either gave her a ticket or something happened to her car, something like that. So that's how she initially stopped Kaylee from telling John.
This is just to give you a reminder of the stuff she was saying. All right? She's talking like matter of fact, as if I'm drinking water. She's talking like she was there watching the entire show. Yep, she's just telling you a story because she saw it all with her own two eyes. Look. Honey, just wait. Just wait. It gets worse. Unbelievable.
Hey y'all, I'm still alive. My ancestors told me there is somebody outside waiting for me to come outside, so I'm protected, like I said, spiritually and physically. With that being said, I don't feel like revamping my website, so I'm gonna post on here until I finish my website. People were asking who is Bryan Kohberger, and I want to dig deep into that, but also I have a question. Like, what happened to y'all brain? Like, people in the world, I just do not understand how y'all have no smart sense. Like, why aren't you smart is my question. So Bryan Kohberger gets arrested and you guys are cheering and celebrating with this false sense of victory like I was wrong. I never said she did it with her hands. I said she hired somebody. Like, how does that debunk anything that I said? Are y'all that slow?
She being that woman, Rebecca. And of course, not true and allegedly. So this is where she starts insulting the commenters, insulting the viewers, insulting anybody who's doubting her, right? So this is her way of lashing out at any commenters and anyone that has something to say. I don't think there is any moment in her head where she truly understands the severity of her words and the pull and the weight of her TikTok. Because people do believe her. People do follow her. And there's a responsibility that you have to have with your words at all times, by the way. I live by that principle. If you stick on, I'll tell you more about it. And not being careful with your words, you risk way more. You have no idea. So we're stupid. She's calling us stupid. Stupid. Unbelievable. So this is where things really take for a turn. And this is where I can see, I've been sued before and I've been to court regarding lawsuits. So I do have some experience. And this is where I can see, behind the scene experience, I can see there is definitely a toll going on. There are bigger plays. There are bigger sharks in the water. She has no idea the hammer that's going to come down her head.
Also, we need to find out what kind of law enforcement officials are we dealing with. Bryan Kohberger is literally one of the best physical witnesses they can find. I am literally the best spiritual witness they can find and have been handed to them and putting out information for free. And we're the ones being persecuted while the actual killers, Rebecca Schofield and Jack DeCour, are just out free. Is there corruption going on? Because make this make sense. Since when are witnesses the ones that are being persecuted and killers are remaining free?
Right. So behind the scenes here is the authorities are telling her, listen very closely, lady. You're talking a little too slick and we're getting a little impatient with you. And she's not liking it. This is her sending a message to the authorities because clearly they're watching her page and she is clearly not afraid. Listen, she has all her marbles. She has all her marbles. A person with no marbles would not get legal representation. Please. Hi, Daryl. No, please, no. Stop. Stop it. Look, listen. Let's continue.
Rebecca Schofield, the one who murdered the 4 Idaho college students, see my videos, she's going to realize that it's very hard to outrun consequences of her actions because they seem to never stop. She's going to try not to panic and rush her decisions, and she's going to plan her escape. She's going to feel like she has options, and she's going to try to keep a level head. She's going to be relieved that the person who is in the middle of the gossip is not someone she knows, but she'll still feel a little betrayal. She's relieved to see that it appears that people, although are hearing what I'm saying, are not taking me seriously. That's what it appears, though. Then her plan that she had with the killer is not going to go through. It's not going to work out. Then she's going to feel like she's running out of options. Then the killer who executed the murder is going to come out of hiding. But he'll feel stuck as well as he tried to plan his escape.
What? Nuts, isn't it? What? Listen, there's more. I'm going to make it make sense. There's more.
Also, I'll be pressing charges against everybody who participated in witness tampering. Witness intimidation is a form of obstruction of justice, and it's a federal crime to interfere with witness testimony or corroboration in a criminal case. Everything I've done is because I was a witness, a spiritual witness, but still a witness to the crimes and wanted to put out the information for mass dissemination so that it could help get the case solved. I've also sent in emails to the tip lines. Everybody, including attorneys, whether that be Wendy Olsen, Rebecca Schofield, anybody else listed as her attorneys, anybody who submitted press releases or did anything to interfere with my testimony against Rebecca Schofield and Jack DeCour, I'm pressing charges on all of y'all. It's illegal, and you knew it was illegal, and therefore it could also be a part of the civil suit due to your negligence as an attorney.
Do you hear this? Look, take it from my experience. Someone has spoken to me like that. I didn't wait. I pressed charge first, darling. This is plenty enough to start proceedings on my end. Yeah, of course, it might go nowhere. Yeah, sure, why not? We both gonna spend this money. Because this is a threat. That's a threat that is just way too close to one of my lines. Way too close to one of my lines. And if I was the authorities, I would not sleep on this. I would take this very seriously, because this is, again, a mind state shift. This means in her mind, she is thinking, allegedly, she is thinking, I should have that button somewhere up there. Thanks, lawyer. Yeah, I have one. She is thinking a night, in a day. She is plotting, conniving. This is a mindset of not someone who is crazy. This is someone who knows and has critical thinking. She's trying to jump ahead the curve. Listen. She's not crazy. She's stupid, but she's not crazy. Allegedly. I have the word down there. No, because I'm scared. Fear is healthy. Fear is healthy. Fear is healthy. A mess.
What kind of evidence would it take for me to consider that I made a mistake? And you're saying that everyone makes mistakes. I've made mistakes, and I acknowledge my mistakes. I shed a couple tears, and I recover from it. When I make a mistake, it is not because my readings is wrong. It is because I let emotions or eagerness, or I did something too quickly. I have done over 100 videos regarding Rebecca Schofield and Jack Decor. This isn't a mistake. Again, I never said I was incapable of making mistakes, but I catch my mistakes relatively quickly. This isn't a mistake. I'm extremely good at what I do. I don't just call myself the GOAT for ego. That doesn't flatter me. I'm the GOAT because I'm the GOAT. I'm not making a mistake on this.
So I picked that one because, if you see, I'm following a trail of motion here where she is doubling down, and she's letting everybody know, look, this is for real. She has no idea that this particular video is her lawyer is probably pulling his or her hair out. This video probably was like, oh my God, how do I defend this? His lawyer allegedly is probably just there for the money. It's undefensible at this point. People got bills to pay. That right there, nail in the coffin. If there wasn't one already. Listen to this.
Y'all, the plot is deeper. How can the families, the community, the world get justice regarding this case of the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students if we're dealing with corrupt police departments? So I decided to do a reading. My spirit led me to do a reading regarding who is behind the online riots against me. Now, granted, I was led to do this a while back, but I didn't. But I did it today, so I made up for it. So I'm doing this reading, and it is all about control. An entity, Moscow Police Department, was about to lose this case to another entity. It could have been losing it to the Idaho State Police or the FBI, but they were about to lose the case. And the reason why they concocted this evidence and case against Kohberger is to gain control over the case. They wanted to ignore my claims. They wanted to only them work on this case. So the reason behind the fake page and the online riots is control.
Do you hear this? Look, she's getting the government involved. Ashley, stop. It's one thing when you get the government doesn't lose, darling. It doesn't lose, darling. You're going against tax dollars? Good luck. I don't even think Jeff Bezos is rich enough. Honey, you are losing de facto. What? Listen to this.
Part 2 about Moscow Police Department being corrupt behind these online riots against me and deciding not to work with me, ergo working against themselves, working against justice, and working against getting justice for the families and the world regarding the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. I'm like, why is it every time that I post, you have a whole bunch of them immediately attacking me? It's literally an online riot against me. I'm only trying to solve the case. You would think that they were also trying to solve the case, but what they're actually trying to do is gain control, overcome shame and ego because they were unable to handle it. And when I offer my assistance and I help and I put it online, instead of embracing that assistance, they decided to resist and fight against it because of shame. There is another entity that was about to take over this case. If the family or anybody wants real justice regarding the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, that entity that was about to take over this case needs to take over as soon as possible.
So, she talks about shame and ego, but what you just saw there is she is full of pride. Her pride is through the roof. She's so prideful that she can't even say a single word, allegedly. Her pride is so humongous. Her ego is out of control that one word will be her downfall. Allegedly. Allegedly. It doesn't stop you from getting your point across. One word. Allegedly. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. Look, I know maybe some of you don't like the fact that this channel, I talk about narcissism a lot. And let me tell you something. The reason why I'm into true crime, I'm into crime situations is because 99% of criminals are narcissistic. And you don't have to be a criminal to be a narcissist. You don't have to be, not all narcissists are criminals, but they have a very distinct pattern, and ego and pride is one of them. One word. A narcissist will never say sorry. Please, and if they say sorry, it's sorry but. She is so prideful that in her blindness of a condition, she is now dragging the Moscow Police Department into this mess. Honey, Ashley, you are way in over your head. And mark my words, guys. The police department is not playing. It's not playing because you're calling them corrupt. You're insulting their integrity. It's one of the red lines because there are corrupt departments. Please, there's one in West New York. Please, they're everywhere. Honey, they're everywhere. This is not something you play with. It's not a word you just throw around lightly. A corrupt police department. The FBI is always listening. Yes, this is serious allegations. She doesn't even realize it. It's a serious allegation. This is like your words. This is what I mean. When you speak with the intent of hurting someone, you have no idea the ripple effect you are causing for you. You don't even know. Listen to this.
People keep saying, don't make this about me, but they've made it about me. The reason why all of this is happening right now is because Moscow Police Department refused to work with me. There was somebody who wanted to come to me and work with me. I did a reading and I was on live before my old page got continuously banned. Not banned, but in view only mode. And the reading said that somebody, an official, wanted to work with me. They wanted to prevent that from happening because me uncovering the details of the murders shows them up. So instead of collaborating with me, they decided to compete with me and then come forward with some information and arrest someone who didn't even commit the crime. You telling me this is somebody who wants to get justice? No, they are biased and they should not be able to handle this case.
Listen. She said they refused to work with me, but somebody came and worked with me. Look, the details of what the hell's going on there, we will never know. But one thing's for sure I can allegedly tell you. The police department definitely contacted her and said something. She might have interpreted it a certain kind of way, but some words, something is going on behind the scenes, some talking, some letters, something is happening behind the scenes to the point where she feels the need to talk greasy with pride and ego to the public about this. In a normal situation, the government would ignore it, but she's now become public. She's now become a public situation, and that makes all of the difference. In case you're wondering, now I'm going to do a shameless plug. It really isn't a plug, but I just want to share something so it makes a little more sense. With the shop we came out with, right? There's a design I came up with. Listen, that design, like this is attempt number 3. And the lawyer said, she said the first two attempts unacceptable, not because it was not legal. It's because if this design gives notoriety, it gives actually more power to the imagination. And also be very careful how you pick your words, because they can take that and come back at you with it. 100%. You know exactly what I'm talking. You're smart enough to figure this out. I'm not saying anything. Do you know what I'm saying? But to give you an idea that in normal circumstances, they will ignore it. But you're becoming too notorious with this, and they might not ignore it anymore.
The wrong team. They need a new team, or they just need to release the people that's holding them back. Looking back on that reading, the wrong team was because they have internal betrayal. There is some internal betrayal going on in Moscow Police Department that's preventing progress. And no, they're not making progress. Bryan Kohberger is the least factor in the whole scheme of things. Came at the last minute, did the least, didn't commit any murders. The actual murders are still out because Moscow Police Department has some internal betrayal going on. And somebody is in charge, knows that they needed to release their team and get a new team or start anew with someone else, but decided to remain loyal to the same team that betrayed them. Now it's looking like they betrayed themselves. So justice is being obstructed because of a lack of control over the team and internal betrayal and people doing the wrong thing. They need a new team, period, or this case won't be solved properly. If you notice the comments on my page, the negative ones, they be coming from people who are 0 followers, 0 following, 0 posts. Literally only created for this online protest and riot against me. They can't show their real faces because they are the police or people working with the police. So why would people working with the police or the police be badgering a witness? Why would y'all be so jealous of the information that I put out to help you? This is weird. So they're mad because I was able to solve something that they had a hard time doing. Maybe they feel unworthy, or maybe they feel undervalued and appreciated, but that don't have nothing to do with me. Collaboration would have been better than competition. Take the mask off. Comment from your real pages. Show us who you really are. That's okay though, I got a fix for this. Anyway, long story short, I'm not posting no more free information regarding this case online anymore. You got people on here asking me information and using my information, then turn around and saying I'm crazy or leading protests against me and allowing me to be badgered by your peers and your coworkers. But then you have others sending me messages on my email or my website asking me questions about when did this person meet this person or how did this person talk to this person. Y'all not getting nothing else from me. No more. Nothing for free.
And then, look, I'm going to finish this with the pièce de résistance, because there's another side to this coin that people need to understand. I have 10 minutes. 1 second. Alistair, you're such an idiot.
Ashley, I'm just wondering, do you know what you've done to your reputation? You're only 38 years old. You have your whole life ahead of you. You are forever going to be labeled the crazy tarot card lady who got it wrong. You're being sued by 3 lawyers, 3, 4, 5 lawyers. The whole internet knows where you live. Was it worth it? I'm stunned at I'm just stunned at how deranged. It's crazy. And now that they have a suspect, what are you going to say now? Jack had nothing to do with it. Rebecca had nothing to do with it. And you are forever ruined. Everywhere you go to work, they're going to know. Every person you meet is going to know. You cannot no longer avoid this. You did this to yourself. So pack up those tarot cards, honey, because you're going to have to walk with fear everywhere you go. Shameful.
I know you're laughing. Okay. No, listen, it's not funny. It's not funny.
Well, Ashley, looks like your tarot cards weren't correct. They have a suspect. Wow. Now will you shut up? Now will you leave innocent people alone? Put your tarot cards where the sun don't shine. Leave people alone with your crap. You're crazy.
It's not funny. Stop laughing. Listen. And that's the other side. That's also not okay. You know, I'm not saying anything that Ashley's doing is good, healthy, correct in any way. Two wrongs don't make a right. And let me tell you why I believe the difficulty here with that lady is that lady found Ashley's phone number and dialed the number. Honey, that is an invasion of something. I get it. Look, you can find out everything if you want about me. You can find it out. You can find it out. But the thing is that there are boundaries. There are boundaries. At that moment, and look, it happened in December. I'll be scared. I'll be scared. I'll be scared. I'll be scared. And you know what? It's not okay. Just like, look, how do I explain this? We all have different opinions. We all have something. People who agree all the time. Listen, I don't know how to explain this. Because I'm picking my words carefully. That's why. I'm picking my words carefully. That's why. Listen. We all have friends, right? And if you don't have friends, it's okay. It's fine. You're not meant to agree with everything your friend does. You're not supposed to say yes to everything. You're allowed to have an opinion, and your opinion gives you the right to say no when you don't want to. No, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to go. No, I don't believe you. I just burped. Sorry. We're friends. No, I don't think you're right. No, I disagree. No. The word no does not mean that we are not on the same team. It does not mean that I don't care for you. It does not mean any of that. Do you understand? I know. Listen. Because, look, I'll give you another concept. You know, when you get married, hi, would you marry me? And the person is like, no. And it's like, oh, well, forget with you. We're breaking up. Why? It just means no, maybe no, not right now. Why? What is this thing that as soon as no is said, that's it? Where's the scissors? Do you love me? No. I don't understand. I really don't understand that ideology that no means complete disaster. So, lady who called, you don't have to agree with her. I don't. But that's going the extra mile. We all have differences, and, you know, we live in a very polarized world. Do you understand what I mean? And it doesn't mean that we're not able to be at a respectful cordialness. Do you know what I'm saying? And I've always said, like, we don't have to agree on everything, but the moment you cross the line where you want to be violent and you want to be intentionally disruptive like that, honey, I'm out. I don't even argue. I ghost and I disappear. You don't even hear from me. No explanation needed. It's too uncomfortable, too dangerous for me. Too dangerous. That's a level of unpredictability. Because I say no a lot. Do you know how many times I say no? 90% of the time. No. Yeah, I guess you will never like me. Oh, I have to take this phone call. I told you, right? Important. I gotta take the phone. It's work. Be right back. I'm back. Look, I told you guys, like, somewhere around, one of you guys commented a while ago about why I shoot this thing in mirror mode. Is because I can see the text messages that I get. I can read them, and a lot of my real life peep situations, when they call me and I don't answer, they know I'm doing something, so they text me and I read what they want to see here, or they do talk to text. But sometimes, like insurances, please, I gotta pick up. Lawyers, I have to pick up. Yeah, there's certain calls I have to pick up. What's going on? What's happening? That was just one of them. I just didn't edit that so you can see it. Well, yeah. Anyway, look, yeah, that's what I wanted to say about this segment is that, you don't have to agree with everything someone says, but the moment you go for violence, intimidation, pressure, the moment you are just unleashing your wrath for what? For having a different opinion, you cannot be that wrathful to the point of crossing a line yourself. Of course, within boundaries, everything in moderation, of course. But this girl didn't do anything that merits that. She didn't do anything that merits someone to look up a phone number and harass her and call. She does not merit that. Look, I'm disagreeing with her hard. I'm certainly not going to give her a phone call. What? Oh, let's go to on this one. Ashley, I agree with. I'm with on Ashley's side. Leave her alone. Leave her alone like that. Keep it within a certain boundary of safety. We're crazy. Let's go to my last talk. I love this last talk, Simon, because this is where I get to actually talk without having to worry about my ADHD takeover, without to worry about my quirks taking over. I just have to be like free, and I could just talk to you. Like, it's nice. Forget the YouTubes for a little bit. Let's talk, me and you. So, as you know, it's Monday. How was the weekend? What are you looking forward to for this week? This weekend, what I did is I slept all day for the Super Bowl on Saturday last week. Whatever, please, I don't know what that was. What is that? Super Bowl? What is that? What's going on? What's happening? I had no idea. But no, I slept. I watched some TV, maybe a little bit, but I slept. And Olympia was good. She was good. It's almost like she sensed I was struggling, so she was very good. And we it was warm, so we went out in the garden on the kangaroo pouch, and it was really warm. So I had my coffee in the morning, like that, and I was holding her, and I was just talking to my trees. I have trees, fruit trees. It's a full plant. It's like a full situation here, and I said hello to them. I talk to my trees. You think I'm weird? Whatever. I talk to my trees, and they're all girls. And I first open the door and I go, "Hi, girls!" I shout very loud, "Hi, girls! There's no one around, please. The neighbor's like 1,000 miles away. There's no one around. Hi, girls!" And it's really warm. The dog is running around, and I pick up dog poop in my yard. You think it's weird too, but it's because I like to walk barefoot on my yard. The last thing I need is to put my foot on the dog poop. So I pick up dog poops anyway. So in the morning, I have my poop bags in my pocket. "Good morning, girls." And I walk down, and I always start with the tree called Olympia. It's a pineapple quincy. Please, I love plants. Pineapple quincy. And I say, "Good morning, Olympia." Oh, God. Right next to Olympia are my citrus, Ka and Resh. I'm like, "Hi, Ka. Hi, Resh." Oh, my God. You girls, spring is here. Yeah, I go and observe, but you know what? I'm observing to see has the pest. I'm doing what a gardener does, inspect. But, and the dog is running around in circles, smelling, I don't know, whatever this dog smells. And, oh, look, poop. I put my mug of coffee on the ground, and I bend down, I pick up the poop. Ta-da! And I'm still walking barefoot. Then I walk down, I go through the butterfly bushes. And it's still winter, so they're still sleeping, and I'm like, "Oh, hi. And I go down to the brook where the figs are. Now, the figs are called Figgy and Azalea. They gave me so much fruit, like 50 pounds of fruits. And I go, "Hi, girls. Okay, I know last year, because of the lanternflies, we got so many lanternflies, but I got you, right? I got you." I can't believe I'm telling you what I actually said. Olympia was laughing because the dog was doing circles around us, and she was just laughing and looking at the dog. And then from there I go to my prunes and my peaches. I don't want to bore you. And then after the peaches is a mulberry. After the mulberries, it's more citrus, cold hardy. And then after the citrus is the oh my God, the pawpaw trees. And then after the pawpaw trees is my red berry currants. And then I go through the blueberry patches, and then the kiwi, and then the grapes. And then I finish with my pomegranates. And then I go on the driveway, and I just look at the sky, feel the breeze, because the driveway is like this. So feel the breeze. So, it's facing east, and the south is over there, and north is over there. And like for some reason, it creates this wind current, and it's like so refreshing with the coffee. And I walk back inside, and the girl loved it. Loved it. We did that, and it was good. Anyway, some people are not into trees like that. I am. Yeah, I have many passions, many interests. One of them is my trees. I love gardening. There's nothing more relaxing than seeing like taking care of life. Look, did you miss me last week? Listen to me, please. Of course, you don't think I thought about you, of course. But listen, no. I needed the break. I needed to look. It's not even that I needed it. I had no option. Listen, it's been very difficult. I'm a new parent, if you don't know, if you're new here. I'm a new parent. My daughter is 8 months old. 8 months old. Very, very difficult journey. Very difficult journey. Overall. And severely sleep deprived. For the simple fact that, not because I didn't want to, because I just couldn't. Olympia just she wouldn't stop crying. And so what am I going to do? Let her cry? No, I have to be up. But the thing is that life doesn't stop. And so I had to stop. I had to stop, and I had to sleep. And the irony is that I still was single parenting for the week because Christopher was not around. I was single parenting, and it was literally Olympia and my sleep. Olympia and my sleep. I got up to a lot of sleep, and I couldn't ask for help because my mother-in-law was not feeling well. So I was like, well, you don't feel well. Please don't bring anything to me. Stay over there. Anyway, no. I slept. I caught up on my sleep, and that's pretty much what it was. It was baby sleep. I turned everything off. Because I needed that. I needed to recuperate as much as I could. When I a lot of my situation, a lot of my conditions is consciously controlled. There's a consciousness to my poisonous. Yeah, it's conscious. The natural me is not that poised. The natural me is a complete goof, but to some people, maybe a lot. Actually, to a lot of people, it's a lot. So that also takes mental energy. It takes a toll. To be poised and composed so I can deliver a proper message. And it's not a regular occurrence. It's just so happened that in this particular situation, I had to be a single parent. That's it. There was no way. That's it. It just happened to be a situation. She's not in daycare yet. We don't have a nanny yet, honey. Oh, please. No, we're learning lessons. No. We will have a nanny if this. Yeah. I'm not opposed to it anymore. Anyway, enough about me and the baby. How have you been? There's but when making this video, I did not hit the comments, so I have no idea. Oh, I can put it up right now, actually. Look at that. Do you want to? Nah, I'll do that on my own time. So when this video will be posted, I would have ran through some comments, and then I'll deal with that. Chris is taking the baby away from me for at least 2 days. Yeah, because I'm a parent. It's part of life. It's part of the deal. I can't just be a single parent for a week and be like, I'm not doing parenting anymore. No, it's for everything. So only for 2 days. I said, don't worry, baby. I got it. It's okay. I'll just That's all right. Yeah, I'm a parent. Of course, there's going to be some days I'll be single parent. Yeah. Although I have a newfound respect for any parents. Any parents. Yeah. Not to say non-parents are any less than, because I was a non-parent one time, right? But, honey, especially if you're a single parent, honey, you deserve the world. Deserve everything you need. And more. Government! I can't believe we pay all this money to these criminals for nothing for us! Now, think about that. Bryan Kohberger is taking $396,000 plus $180 less. I'm at Think about that for a little bit. Doesn't that infuriate you a little bit? Like, I could do something so much better with this money. Okay, he's alleged, but we all know what's going to happen in June. You people with you Hibristophiliacs. That's not insane. People who are attracted to murderers. It's one of the things like, okay, it's one thing if you're like, oh, like maybe you're watching the TV and you're like, oh man, yeah, I guess he's cute. But as banter, right? Or maybe as part of a joke, but to actually be like, would you marry me? Have conjugal visits? And like, go to bed next to one of them? Sleep a full 8 hours next to Ted Bundy? I mean, the wife had to do that, but she didn't know. But, what? I'd be like, where do I sleep? Next to me. Oh, okay. Like, I'd be sleeping like this. Oh my God. Yeah. What's on my head? A lot's on my head. Worrisome? No, I wouldn't say anything worrying. All right. I'm gonna go. I have to edit. Thank you for watching. I have no idea why I'm being emotional, right? I don't know. I have no idea. And let me tell you something. Ever since having this baby, it's literally I'm crying on like a breeze, crying. A thought of the sky, crying. I'm not unstable. Are you out of your mind? No, I'm not unstable. Not at all. But it's like it's right here. It's like it wants to come out. I have no idea why. I don't know what I said. What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? I didn't say anything. What? I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I gotta go. Bye.